blind. Because in the Jewish mind, sin was always punished in this life. So if this man were born blind, if he were born with an affliction, if he were born with a disease, either he sinned or his parents sinned, and this is a judgment of God upon the sin. Jesus has to correct the error that people have regarding the work of God. Who sinned, this man or his parents? Jesus said, neither. Now remember, the scriptures were not written in chapters and verses with exclamation points and periods. They were written as units of thought. So what Jesus says now in verse 3, neither has this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Jesus is not saying it wasn't this man or his parents that sinned, but that the works of God could be made manifest in him. Jesus is not saying the man was born blind so that God's work can be made manifest in him. What he's saying is, neither the man nor his parents, but to clear up the misunderstanding that people have about the works of God, I must work the works of him that sent me. Neither the man nor his parents sinned. But so that the work of God can be made manifest in him, I must work the works of him that sent me. Because God is not the author of sin, sickness, disease, and poverty. It's the work of the devil. Somebody say, oh, Lord, he done went to preaching about the devil again. Yes, it's the work of the devil. Sin, sickness, and disease came into the world through the transgression of Adam, through which the devil was behind. So when it comes to dealing with these things, let's not blame God. Oh, it must be God. Well, that's the work of God. You know, God gonna get some glory out of your suffering. No. Now, God can make all things work together for good for those that love him. God can, in the suffering, turn it into good. But God's not the author. That's why Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil. So he did what? He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He fed the homeless. He delivered those that were bound. Because why? That is the work of God. And so the light of Jesus reveals what the work of God is. Does this make sense? All righty then. Moving right along. So when he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground, and he made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man. Oh, that didn't really happen. That's just a metaphor. No, it really happened. And said to him, now you go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sin. So he went his way, therefore, and washed, and he came seeing. Oh. Now, what's the next thing Jesus starts dealing with? Jesus starts dealing with the simplicity of faith. Somebody say faith. This is how easy God has made it. God makes this real easy. We make it difficult. The man's born blind. Jesus spits in the dirt. How many of y'all would like to have a pastor, a teacher, an evangelist, an apostle, or a prophet come up and spit in the dirt and put mud on your eyes? How many of y'all would go for that? I didn't think so. But that's what Jesus did. Jesus has really strange ways of doing stuff. He likes to confound the wisdom of the wise. Never mind. He spits in the dirt, makes mud, puts it on his eyes, and then says, go wash in the pool of Siloam. And so what happened? The man went, washed, came back seeing. Jesus said, go wash. The man went and washed, and he came back seeing. How simple can God make this thing? You need sight? Okay. Go wash. The man went, washed, came back seeing. He makes it so simple. We would have had 750 rules about how to go and wash. We would have had a whole book on how to do what God said to do. God said, go wash. He went, he washed, he received the same. what is it about people? What is it about us that we have to complicate things? It's like Jesus said, go make disciples. I will develop an 8-week course for you to learn how to go and make a disciple. Jesus said, go make disciples. Never mind. Just forget I haven't said anything. Somebody said, I already did. I know. All right. So here's faith. Somebody say faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet revealed to the senses, right? So God says, go do something, and he doesn't ask us. He does not ask us to figure out how to do it. He said, go. Go and do this. And he went and did it, and God confirmed the word. When God tells you to do something, Pastor, don't worry about how it's going to get done. You walk in obedience to God, and God will unfold it bit by bit. I mean, does this make sense? I'm just wondering. Maybe I'm all alone in this. I don't know. But God, I had this great financial need. Okay, I got a solution for that too. Give. But you don't understand. I need something, right? So God says, give. Why? Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, men will give into your bosom. And at the same time, let me remind you, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever man sows, that shall he also reap. So you sow bad seed, you're going to get a bad harvest. Oops. Oops. There it is. All right. So he shows the simplicity of faith. He corrects our erroneous ideas about the nature of God. And then he shows the simplicity of faith, right? Then the trouble starts. Because wherever there's light, there's trouble. The neighbors, they looked at him, saw the blind man. He said, ain't that the guy that was blind? Somebody said, yeah, that's him. Somebody said, no, but it looked like him. Because you know, when God touches your life, oh, y'all gonna like this. This alone is worth the price of you coming out in this weather. When God touches your life, you look different. You look different. Mm-hmm. You look different. You ever been through a stressful situation and then God touched your life and released that stress, and then people look at you and say, oh, you look different. Yeah, because the touch of God on your life makes you look different. Folk try to figure you out. I had somebody tell me that this week. They said, I just can't figure you out. I said, give your brain a break. Stop trying. The wind blows where it wills. You hear the sound thereof. So is everyone that is. Come on, y'all help me. Born of the Spirit. Sometimes Spirit-led people are unpredictable. You notice that in your walk? Sometimes they're just unpredictable. All right. Somebody said, yeah, that's your problem. No, that's my blessing. Which is my interpretation sin. All right. So they say, is that him? He said, no, it's me. So they said, well, how did your eyes open? He said, well, it was this man called Jesus. He made clay and he anointed my eyes. He said, go wash. And I went and I washed and I came back seeing. It's just that simple. God said, do this, I did it, and then God did it. God said it, I did it, then God did it. Say that with me. God said it, I did it, then God did it. You'll be surprised at what God will do when you do what God told you to do. You'll be amazed. Didn't he tell y'all make a way where there is no way? Did he tell you that? All right. Don't get like the children of Israel in the wilderness. Get caught on bad reports. Okay. I just heard someone say, stop, Darryl. All right. Now watch. How did your eyes open? Well, this guy told me, go wash. I went and washed, and I came back seeing. So they said, well, where is he? He said, I don't even know. I don't know. So they said, well, we know what to do. Let's take you to the Pharisees. Now the trouble begins. So far, so good. Jesus has unveiled the error. He's corrected misconceptions on faith. So what do they do now? They bring him to the Pharisees. Who are the Pharisees? The Pharisees are those who believe that they're keepers of the kingdom. They got watch over, they think. Say that again. They think so. They forgot. So they bring him to the Pharisees. Now watch what happens. It was a Sabbath day. So the Pharisees said, well, how did he receive his sight? They said, well, he put clay on his eyes, and I went and I washed, and now I see. So the Pharisees said, well, this man's not of God. He don't keep the Sabbath. He doesn't follow our rules. He can't be of God. He doesn't do it our way. Do y'all see this, or am I making it up? No. All right, okay. All right, it's there. I just want to make sure it's there. So now light, true faith, clear understanding of God, with this man having this experience with God. Somebody say experience with God. See, what Dayton, Ohio needs some places where people can come in and experience the presence and the power of God. That's what the city needs. Oh, my. All right. And so he ain't a God. He don't keep our rules. And they didn't even understand the Sabbath. Jesus had to clarify for that. Man was not made for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man. But they got it twisted. And whenever you get things twisted, you're putting folk in bondage. And that's exactly what they did. You don't do it our way, it ain't God. Oh, I better get off this point here. But I'll stay here a little longer because I'm having fun. This man ain't a God. Pharisees asked, he put clay. So the Pharisees said, he ain't a God. Now watch this. How can a man that's a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division. You see that? There was a division. Jesus said, don't think I came to bring peace on the earth. I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword. Because everybody knows what's going to happen when they say peace, right? When they say peace, peace, then sudden destruction going to come upon them. That's another one of them pieces of Bible we don't like to preach because it don't fit our agenda. Oh, my. Y'all know what I say at this point, right? Dig that hole a little deeper, Darryl. Dig it a little deeper. What a division. So they said to the blind man again, what do you say of him? He opened your eyes. He said, he a prophet. But the Jews didn't believe concerning him that he had been, blind and received. So they call his, they go get his family. We don't believe the man. We don't believe the testimony. We don't care that we can see God moving. We don't care. We don't care that people are being touched. We don't care that people are being healed. We don't care that people are being set free. And they ain't following our agenda. So, go call his family. Is that your boy? Yeah, that's him. Well, how did he get his sight? They wouldn't even answer. Because they were so intimidated by the religious system, they couldn't even answer. They couldn't bear witness for Jesus because they were intimidated by religious systems. Don't ever get intimidated by religious systems. You obey God. Is that your boy? Yeah, we think. Well, how was he born blind? We don't know. He is of age as him. That's a powerful statement. Now it gets real deep. Why did they say he is of age as him? Because they had already determined if anybody confesses that Jesus is the Christ, we're going to put him out. Put him out of what? We're going to put him out of synagogue. We're going to put him out. So she wouldn't answer. They said, ask him. Let him take his own responsibility for himself. You see, in the final analysis, folk, you're going to have to give an account for yourself. When it's all said and done, ain't nobody being saved in a group. There's no such thing as group salvation. We must all appear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to throw that out y'all. You know, I didn't mean to put that like that. Yes, I did. There's no such thing as group salvation. We must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ to receive the reward for what we have done. See, when I stand before God and he's answering and I got to give an account, I can't start talking about, well, you know, Deb wasn't feeling good on Sunday morning, so I decided to stay home with her. We all have to answer for ourselves. Because light will even put separation between those that are closest to you. This was his family. This was mom and dad. Better move away from that one. So in this situation, the Pharisees are interrogating these folks. And when the boy confessed, he said, I done told y'all once how he did it. You didn't believe me. I told you twice. You didn't believe it. You even threatened to put me out. And I'm telling you again, my witness is not changing. Now, why you keep asking, do you want to be one of his disciples? Me too. And at that, they begin to, the scripture says, revile him. You were altogether born in sin. Who are you to teach us to understand who we are? So light begins to reveal the hypocrisy of religious systems over against a relationship with God. And that's a tough one. You was altogether born in sin. Who are you? I mean, that would be akin to Carmen got saved, Jesus working in her life, and then she come to Pastor Josh and I and begin to share some things that God has told us or has shown her. And then